The business of seafood can be treacherous, with many variables challenging producers. For one Louisiana seafood company, success has been measured by a pickup truck and one firm handshake at a time. After a mission trip in the late 1980s, Tommy DeLon moved back to Louisiana with his new wife. He decided to start a family and a new career in New Orleans.
They just pursued the American dream and started building their business with a pickup truck, working early mornings, driving down to the docks 2, 3, 4 o'clock every morning, getting the day's fresh catch, and then bringing it right back to the city to sell to all of the best restaurants in the quarter.
In the years that followed their pursuit of the American dream, the DeLons would expand what is now Tommy's Seafood. They brought their children into the mix, and in the early 1990s started to vertically integrate.
We have control over, of course, over the catch from the moment that it's unloaded all the way to the final packaging at the last stage before it makes it to the consumer. So our fishermen that we work with, they harvest the seafood for us. We unload it, we send it to our other facilities, we process it, we package it, we store it, we ship it, and it's ready for the rest of the world to enjoy.
Tommy's Seafood sells several types of shrimp, oysters, and blue crab. But the company's seafood mix is only part of their success. One way the DeLons are trying to sustain their family operation is to rely on the tools used decades ago when the business was taking its first steps.
Growing up in St. Bernard Parish allowed me to be able to cultivate all of these long-standing relationships that my family had, or that I was able to make along the way with other families who have multi-generational fishing in their blood. So it is without a doubt one of the reasons why we're able to be so successful in this business.
Of the 3.6 billion pounds of seafood landed in the contiguous 48 states, more than 1 million of that total comes ashore in Louisiana. In 1990, the U.S. shrimp catch was just over 18 million pounds, with an estimated value of $75 million. Almost 3 decades later, the 2018 harvest was 40% smaller at around 11 million pounds, and the final tally cut nearly in half to come in at just over $40 million.
You know, we face not just competition here domestically, although it's friendly competition, but we face a lot of competition overseas. So we consume about 1 billion pounds of shrimp here in the United States each year, and 90% of that comes from overseas, and that's 90% and counting. So, you know, their objective is to completely eliminate the domestic industry. We're without a doubt the underdogs in this business.
The Pelican State's seafood industry recently received some help from Louisiana legislature and Governor John Bell Edwards. Last month, a new law was passed requiring food establishments to notify customers when the seafood they are being served is from a foreign source. The measure was introduced to put local commercial fishermen into the spotlight and help boost small-town economies along Louisiana's coast. Besides weathering the storm of ever-changing markets with overseas competitors, Tommy's Seafood has to navigate through an ecosystem that can force changes to their product line in a flash.
Prior to Hurricane Katrina in 2005, the industry, the waters, the marshlands, they were a lot different than what they were today. So we started seeing a whole lot more crabs show up in this area and a whole lot less shrimp. So that was another reason why we changed our tactics of just putting all of our focus on shrimp and diversifying more into crabs. Now we unload more crabs at our dock than we do shrimp. Prior to Hurricane Katrina, it used to be the other way around. So, you know, we're just finding ways to be creative and to make sure that we can still sustain ourselves.
Those long-standing relationships are the backbone of their operation. Over the past 5 decades, the DeLons have expanded their reach across the Pacific to markets in Asia. They are hopeful their reputation will help them move across the Atlantic as they begin researching market opportunities in the European Union. The DeLons have no plans to stop building on their successes and will continue to stick to the family's main principles of quality product, reliable delivery, and making a deal one handshake at a time.
Our Louisiana slogan, the official state motto, is feed your soul, right? And so I think that they go hand in hand with one another. When you think Louisiana, you think seafood, you think culture, and it's just a big medley of awesomeness down here.